Am I live? I don't know. YouTube Studios. Hey, look at that. I'm live. Let me post again because I wasn't expecting to go back online. I just signed off because I was working on my game and I had enough for the evening. But you know what I decided? I was gonna... Oh, I gotta change the title. So I'm just gonna post this to Facebook. Maybe I'll change the title first. Bear with me for just a moment. So I'm gonna be opening up Duolingo here in a second, practicing some Japanese, and then I think I'll play some Final Fantasy XIV after that. Just because I was gonna do it anyways, so why not? Why not stream it? Let's do this. Japanese practice with Duolingo. Followed by gaming. Great. Sorry, my keyboard's a little loud, I know. Alright, so I'm just updating my things here. Final Fantasy XIV Online. Great. Title has been changed. Now let's get the new link. Share that to people. Post it. Great. Now let me open up Duolingo. Duolingo. I normally do this on my phone, so let's just, oh, I guess I'll have to log in. Maybe it's gonna auto-log me in. I hope it auto-logs me in. Yeah, it does. Great. Awesome. So, let's see where I'm at. So, I'm still, I guess you could say I'm an intermediate Japanese speaker, but I still think I'm quite basic. So, let's try this out. So I'm working on hobbies right now. If you're a fellow Japanese learner and you're watching, let me know in the chat. I would love to hear if you know any Japanese, if you're interested in learning, or kind of where you're at in your Japanese studies. Okay, let's take a look. So we've got Ryoshin, we've got Gozen. Okay, well, I know that one. Kaki. So Kaki, this is Kaki, I'm fairly certain. Oh, weird, I can't hear the audio? Oh, I guess it doesn't give me audio?
下記
Oh, it does if you hit the... So this is the kanji, and this is the hiragana. Oh, weird, I can't see my... Ah, there we go. Weird. Couldn't see my chat. Okay, I think I have it now. Okay, so kaki. What is this? Gozen, so that's PM. And this is mi, or miru, for to see or to watch. So that's this kanji right
Mi.
here. Mi. And that's mi, the hiragana. So, ryoshin. That's, shoot, what's the ryoshin? If you know, feel free. I know this is eiga, which is a movie, and I'm fairly certain that's this one.
両親
Oh, shimatta! Okay, so that's wrong. So it's this one.
映画
Gozen is I'm pretty sure it's these ones. So that's Ryoshin,
両親
and that's Gozen, which is AM, not PM.
午前
I watch movies sometimes. Alright, so let's break it down, shall we? So as you know, Japanese, the verb always comes at the end. So that would be to watch in this case. And sometimes is a cool word I like. Tokidoki. Which is this one right here. So
時々
映画
映画
を
を見
ま
ますす。
So sometimes movies I watch. Right. So more matching. So we know this is kaki. from
書き
before, which is this hiragana. Mi is this one.
Mi.
Mi. Eiga we just had. So that would be eiga, eiga.
映画
And so this one's a funny one. I guess it's not really funny. So this is ichi, the hiragana, the kanji for the number 1. And this is pun or fun, which is minute. So in this case it's pun, so ipun, so 1 minute.
1分
Oh, sorry, pun, ippun, not bun, ippun. And shigeru, shigeru, which is, this is a name. So this is somebody's name. So shigeru.
茂る
So do you watch movies? So we know eiga, right?
映画
Eiga. And then we're saying, so Japanese, you always say subject, not always, but usually you say the subject, wa. So the subject, as for the subject, that's what the wa means. It's like this topic or subject marker, one of those two. So eiga wa, so
Wa.
as for movies, do you watch them? So miru is to watch.
ますか
And the ka is a question. So, eiga wa, as for movies, watch them, do you? Select the correct characters for eiga. So, see, it's tricky because the second kanji is the same here, right? But the first kanji is different. So we know it's this one.
映画
But if you click on this,
漫画
manga. So you might know manga. It's like books, like comic books. But we want eiga,
映画
and then these other ones are something different. 5 in a row. So yesterday I saw a movie. So in this case, yesterday is the subject, right? Or yeah, so you would say kino, which is yesterday. Kino is yesterday. Ashita is tomorrow, and kyo is today.
昨日
So kino, you could say kino wa, but they don't give you the wa here, but you could. So as for yesterday, but this, kino, and then you say
映画
eiga,
O.
which is the. Maybe I won't do this as a full lesson because I'm not really equipped to do this as a full lesson, but basically the o is like, I guess it's like a verb particle. It connects a noun to the verb. So you're saying you did the verb to that noun. So in this case, saw or watched a movie. So eiga, movie, o,
Ni.
So watched the movie. And then to make it polite, in past tense, mas is the polite ending. Mashita is the polite ending, past tense.
ました
So, kino, yesterday, movie I watched. Make sense?
時々映画を見ます
So, tokidoki.
時々
So, tokidoki is sometimes. Tokidoki eiga o mimasu. So, sometimes I watch movies. Or you could say I watch movies sometimes. So I will watch a movie tomorrow. So I already talked about tomorrow is ashita.
明日
Ashita, you could say wa, but they don't have wa. So ashita, tomorrow.
映画を見ます。
So the weird thing in Japanese is you don't have future tense. Present tense and future tense are the same. 見ます to watch or will watch.
昨日、映画を見ました。
So
昨日
yesterday. So I watched a movie yesterday. And we know it's yesterday because 昨日
昨日
but also
見ました見ました
the ta
見ました見ました
means it's past tense. I wrote a new book. So book is hon. And new is atarashi. So this is atarashi. So
新しい
atarashi hon.
本を
Kaki is for to write.
書き
Kaki
ました。
mashita. Past tense. Wrote. So new book. Remember o is the verb particle. So wrote new book. Did.
明日、映画を見ます。
So ashita is tomorrow. Eiga o mimasu. We'll watch. Did you write a new book? So we already know atarashi for new. So, and it's going to be past tense because it's did you. Did. So,
新しい本を書きましたか
Ka makes it a question. 新しい本を書きましたか? So, new book. Did you write it? Or did you write?
昨日、彼を見ました。
So, 昨日 yesterday. Kare, that means he. So,
昨日、
yesterday, him, verb,
彼を
particle, saw.
見ました
So, I saw him yesterday. Yay. I did not write this book. I did not write this book. So, kono is
この
for this. So, kono hon
本
o
書き
kaki. So, mas is for positive, did. Masen is for did not. So, kaki
ません
masen. And then we want to say didn't in the past. So, des is for present and future. Deshita is for past tense.
でした。新しい本を書きました。
So, new book. I wrote a new book. If you hop into the chat anytime and you want to jump in and ask questions, or if you think you know the answer, just like let me know, because I would love to stop and you know, get whoever's watching involved. That would be great. I'm going to see a movie. All right. So this is eiga.
映画
So this one is a little different. So if we said eiga
O
o
見ます。
imasu, that means I watch the movie. But he's saying I am going to see a movie. He's actually moving to go see it. So we need to use eiga
Ni.
ni. Eiga ni. I think that's right.
に
No, sorry. Is that right? It's either eiga ni mimasu or eiga because they have iki, which is to go. So, let's think about that. So it'd be
映画
eiga
に行き
iki
書き
it
ます。
But that means I'm going to a movie, not going to see a movie. Hmm. I think if I just say 映画を
行き
行き
ま
ますす。映画を見に行きます。So, movie, watching a movie, I'm going. Yeah, so there you go. As I said, I'm a beginner.
この本を書きませんでした。
この本を書きませんでした。So, I didn't write that book. This book. Great. Did you see Professor Honda yesterday? So, Professor Honda is the subject. So, that's this one. Honda.
本田
Sensei.
先生
Wa.
は
So, as for Professor Professor Honda, as for Honda Sensei, actually, the first thing we're gonna say is
昨日本田
Honda
先生は
Honda Sensei.
Oh.
Because you see Professor Honda. So, 昨日 you could say 昨日は Honda Sensei を
見ましたか
So, yesterday, Honda Sensei, seeing Honda Sensei, did you? Yes. So this is the other correct answer, which is using the wa. Otherwise, it's exactly the same. 昨日は Honda Sensei を見ましたか?
新しい本を書きましたか
Did you write a new book?
映画は見ますか
Do you watch movies? So this one came up again. So this is, I am going to see a movie. So,
映画
映画
を見に行きます。
Yes. So, movie, to see a movie, ni is the transitive particle, so I'm transit moving somewhere. Going, go. So, see a movie going. See a movie going. Awesome. Fantastic. Let's do one more lesson, and then I will play some Final Fantasy XIV. Match the pairs. So kami, that's paper.
歌
Oh, shimatta. It's this one. This one always gets me.
紙
And that was uta, which is a song.
歌
Te is hand.
Te.
Mi
Mi.
is to watch, to look. And then yomi is to yomu is to read.
読み
Yomi is the mas stem, I guess that's what it's called. Uta, right? So that's this one.
歌
Song. Match the pairs. Yomi, that's to read. This
読み
Te is hand. Mi,
Mi.
for look, watch. Kami, which is paper.
紙
And then uta, which is song.
歌
I will read the letter. So letter is tegami, which is this one, which literally means hand paper. It's kind of funny. So
手紙
tegami o. And then read yomi, yomu.
読みます。
Te. That's this one. So you can see these other ones are kind of similar. Not the same though.
Te.
Super impressive. I do not sing songs. I did not sing this song. It's bullshit. Oh my god. Sorry for swearing. I do not sing songs. So song is uta.
歌
Uta wa.
は
So as for songs, I don't sing them. So uta is song. Utau is to sing. And if you're making it mas form, which they will always make you do in Duolingo, you have to change the u to an i, make it the mas stem. So utai,
歌い
utaimasen,
ません。
which is do not sing. Kami is paper.
紙、
Kami also means God, also means hair, depending on the kanji you're looking at.
週、し、糸、紙、
Kami,
歌、
uta, song. I will sing a song today. So today, 今
今
日
は
は歌
日歌を
を歌います。
ます。歌は歌いません。
歌は
歌は歌います。歌いません。
So 歌 song は歌いません。I don't sing songs. If you're watching, let me know in the chat. Maybe you can try the next one. I do not sing songs, but I do. She does not read my letters. Wow. Sucks to be you, brother. Okay. So she is 彼女。
彼女
彼女は
は
手紙 is
手紙
手紙彼女は手紙
を
を
読みません。
So she, as for her letters, she doesn't read them. Also, 彼女は僕の手紙 so my letters. That's 僕 which is me. 彼女は僕の手紙を読みません。
この歌が好きです。
この歌が
歌が
好きです。So, 好き you might know means to like something. So, この this, so, 歌 so, song. So, I like this song. Easy peasy, right? Do you write letters? So,
手紙
は
は
書き for write, right? Right?
書き
書きますか So,
ま
right,
すか
it's a question. So, 手紙 letters. As for letters, write 書き Do you write them? Yay! Great. So I see there's a couple people joining, which is great. Glad to have you here. Let me know in the chat if you're into Japanese studying. If you think you know the answer, go ahead and shout out or tell me to stop, and maybe you can guess the next one. I would love to have
手紙を読みます。
have some help, or someone wants to try it out. Let me know. I'd love to stop. 手紙を
読みます。
読みます So 手紙 we learned that means letter. 手紙を読みます So I read letters, right? 読み読む That's to read. I read letters, or I will read the letter. I guess that makes sense too. You could say I will read the letter. A lot of things are implied in Japanese. It's hard to tell with a short sentence like this whether they're talking about letters in general, this letter, that. I mean, if it's this letter, you'd say kono. But okay, I sang a lot yesterday. So, 昨日
昨日
yesterday. 昨日は
は
歌歌い。昨日は so yesterday. Right, so we need to say a lot. たくさん
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 歌
歌
い
いまし
ましたた。
So 歌う in the mas stem is 歌いました past tense. I think that's right. Yay!
彼女は僕の手紙を読みません。
So we had this earlier, but this time we're typing in English. So 彼女 is her, 僕 that's me. So 彼女は僕の手紙を読みません which means she doesn't read my letters. Yay! She does not read my letters. Yep. Same. Awesome. I will write a letter to my friend. So I'm going to wait here for a minute. If anyone in the chat wants to try to guess what the answer might be, I would love to hear your guess. And don't worry about being wrong. I'm wrong all the time. And I'm on Duolingo PC, so I have infinite amounts of wrong guesses. So I'll just wait a few seconds. If someone wants to chime in with a potential guess, I would love to hear it. Let's drink some water. Delicious water, nectar of the gods. All right. 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time's up. Okay, so now I gotta solve this. Okay. So, friend, tomodachi, which is right here.
友達
Tomodachi to my friend. Yes. So this one is gonna be ni at some point. So it's gonna be tomodachi ni. Hold on. It's gonna be tegami.
読み
No, tegami.
手紙
Oh, no, that's gonna be at the end. So it'll be. Aww, everybody left. Oh well. I will write a letter to my friend. So. If it was just I will write a letter, it would be. Well, I think it's.
友達に手紙を書きます
Yeah, okay, so it's. To my friend, letter I will write. Yeah, there we go.
昨日はたくさん歌いました。
Those ni particles are always difficult. So what is this?
昨日、
昨日はたくさん歌いました. So we just had this one. So this is yesterday. 昨日 yesterday. Yesterday I sang a lot. Yeah, or I sang a lot yesterday. Perfect. I will read a lot of books. Hon is a book.
本、
Hon. But yes, a lot.
たくさん本を読みます。
Oh, しまった。本をたくさん。Yep. That's my bad. Ugh. I wonder if that even makes sense. I guess if you wrote it like this, it would sound like a lot of books were read or will be read. I don't know. Maybe this is fine and it's just being really semantic, or maybe it's not. Maybe I just suck.
今日は歌を歌います。
今日は歌を歌います. So today I will sing a song. Sing a song. Sing a song. I will read a lot of books. It's the same one. So
本をたくさん読みます。
やったー! Okay, great. So that will be the end of my Duolingo practice for the day. I will now, for my next trick, I'm gonna play some Final Fantasy XIV, you guys. Final Fantasy XIV, you guys. Alright. Let's play. So I am just at the end of Stormblood, which is the second expansion. So I actually just defeated the final boss last night of the main story part of the expansion. But how this game works is after you finish the expansion, there's a bunch of content that comes after. So I am currently going through that content right now. I just barely scratched it last night, so I'm going to start that now. So if you don't want any spoilers for Stormblood, I am going to be playing, near the end game of Stormblood. So just be aware. So I've got ACT up here, but I'm going to make sure it's... Oops. Got to make sure you run it as administrator. Ah, there's an update. Well, I might as well do that now while I'm waiting for the queue. Hey, that wasn't too long. Of course, when it loads, it doesn't load with administrator privileges, so I'm gonna have to reload it again. One more time. ACT. Wait, is it okay to run ACT while streaming? Oh, I'm not running ACT, don't tell me. So I'm actually playing this on New Game Plus mode because back when Shadowbringers first came out, that's actually when I started playing. And I had some friends who were playing and I wanted to play with them, so I bought a boost, which I would definitely not recommend because I missed a bunch of content. So now, it was fine at the time. I boosted a Black Mage up to level 70 and played that up to like level 75. I did some dungeons with them. But I felt like, I had to stop playing the story because the story in this game is so good that I felt like I was missing so much nuance to the story that I didn't want to continue because I felt like I wasn't getting anything. So I decided to stop playing, and now I came back, and the beautiful thing is they have this New Game Plus mode which lets you play events, so I can play these storyline events with my character, which is great. So I rolled I have a I have a paladin now. He's up to level 73, and I'm experiencing the story with paladin, which is great. So once I get into Stormblood, I'll be in basically new territory. It's not New Game Plus mode. So New Game Plus mode doesn't give you any rewards. Alright, so I'm gonna make this out. You want to hear an old maid stories, do you? Most of what I know of the Mad King is common knowledge. We only see his royal majesty when he deigned to attend the executions he ordered. After a while, even watching his enemies die wasn't enough to coax him out of hiding. They say he started seeing assassins in every shadow and wouldn't set foot outside the palace walls. I was offered work there as a royal servant once, but the mere thought of it left me in a cold sweat. Palace? No, not me, lad. Surely you've heard stories of the Mad King. Isn't that like a Game of Thrones thing? He used to hold public executions up on the divine audience. Anyone, and I mean anyone, suspected of conspiring against the crown was flung from the top of those steps. Yowza. Suffice it to say that I stayed as far away from the palace as possible. I don't blame you. I would too. What was that character's name in Game of Thrones? There was like a Mad King something. Retired Rogadin. I served at the pleasure of the King Theodric, and lived to tell the tale. One of the palace guards I was. Truth be told, it was a dark chapter in my life, one I'd sooner forget. Hardly a night went by when we didn't hear blood-curdling screams echoing from the inner chambers, which, of course, we were under orders to ignore. So we'd stand as still as statues, trying not to imagine what horrors we were unfolding within. If your hell's bent on finding out what happened in the palace, head down the street here and ask old Arnold. He was the king's head scribe. Arnold. Right, Arnold. Yes, I'm Arnold. What do you want with me? If you would have me dredge up some decidedly unsavory... I'm not going to do voices. I don't know if I can do voices. Decidedly unsavory memories. Yet, if Alamigo is to move forward, we must needs acknowledge the misdeeds of the past. Very well. I shall tell you what I remember. I'll take it you know of Theodric's paranoia and the public execution of his kingsman. I know little. I learned from your fellow citizens. Those were terrible enough, but in his last days, the king's fevered mind settled upon an even grislier method of disposal, which only a chosen few were unfortunate enough to witness. His Majesty ordered the court thaumaturge to unleash a vile curse upon the remaining members of the royal family, a magic which transformed them into fiends of hideous aspect. The resulting monstrosities were then cast into the darkness below the palace. Yikes. Even now, my sleep is troubled by nightmares. If others of Theodric's blood were prone to share his majesty, mayhap it is kindness the monarchy ended with him. Yeah, sounds like it. So from what I remember from yesterday is Arnvald here wants me to go on an old-fashioned adventure. So you've saved the world a few times, now you're supposed to do an old-fashioned adventure. Since we're all here, why don't we share what we've learned? Allow me to begin then. As promised, I scoured the Imperial records for any mention of fantastic treasures and found precisely none. It is possible, I suppose, and I should probably slow this down. Got it on reading speed, not speaking speed. What is it? Shift. I'll just disable the audio. It is possible, I suppose, that a corrupt official deliberately hid the fact of the trope's discovery, hoping to enrich himself. But I find it rather unlikely that so valuable a find is still secret for long. I conclude that our prize either does not exist, or that the Imperial somehow overlooked it. Okay. What of you, Fraz? It's me. Were your investigations any more fruitful? I learned about King Theodric turned into monsters, keeping by this darkness place beneath the palace. I met an old man in Aligiri who spoke of the palace's subterranean prison and said not to be the first abomination. The Imperial archives were also silent on the subject of features of the palace grounds. Could the scribe fellow have been spinning her yarn? Would you believe him? I have no reason not to. He was afraid. That does lend credence to the tale, though I'm not sure how it helps us in our search. Do not be hasty. Arnold's anecdote may very well have told us where the trope is hidden, but ere I share my theory, there is a matter I would clarify. Arnvald, you spoke of light-hearted adventure, and I sense a deeper motive for this expedition. Are you so intent on finding this treasure? It wasn't all pretense, I swear it, but you're right. My father was in the Imperial Army, a man of Garlean blood. I trust you know what I mean when I say that my Alamegan mother did not welcome my arrival. As I grew, she would check my brow over and over, convinced that a spot on my skin was an emerging third eye, like the kind you see in pure-blood Garleans. My mother did not care for this taunting reminder of my heritage and took up a knife. Oh no. Why so serious? War paint serves to cover the scar. Damn. That's messed up. In the end, she turned me out into the street, and I was left to haunt the alleyways of Alamigo, a feral child who got what he needed through begging, cunning, or worse. Damn, that's sad. The best I can say about the years that followed is that I survived, but I hated the animal I'd become. Eventually, I left the city behind me and joined a group of refugees bound for the other side of the wall. It was then that I turned to adventuring, and that the road led me to the company of the Silence. Philia! What's up, girl? I tell you this so that you understand. I know all too well what poverty and hunger can do to a person. I drew steel on ordinary folk for a measly crust of bread. With Theodric's gold, I could spare my countrymen the shame of living like that. Thank you, Ehrenwald. I apologize. That cannot have been pleasant to recall. But I felt it best to be clear about our intentions. That's fair. Well, Franz, are you content to surrender the treasure to Arnvald's noble cause and claim the thrill and adventure as your reward? Sure, why not? Then I should be glad to tell you that my theory on the resting place of the Mad King's trove, if you are minded to hear it. Right, the Mad King's trove. Actually, mayhap it would be better if we first adjourn to a more suitable location. Sure. In case a rival treasure hunter overhears our plans, you mean? Good thinking. That was not exactly the reason, but 'tis certainly a valid concern. Let us reconvene on the southern edge of Loxel. Loxel, you say it. That's here in the middle. Forgive me, 'twas not my intention to draw out proceedings. I simply wish to have the lock in sight while I explain things. Okay. Prior to the great flood of the sixth Lombard calamity, the salt lakes you see before you were yet dry ravines. And this, believe it or not, was the site of the ancient city of Scala, which rose and fell during the fifth asteroid. From what we know of the period, the city was already deserted by the time the waters began to rise, having been all but destroyed by war. Yet its ruins remain to this day at the bottom of the fossil. And diamond. It's my belief that the darkness beneath the palace mentioned by Theodoric's former scribe was not a reference to the prison, but to a place still further below, the ruins of Scala. I further surmise that the Mad King's unfortunate kinsmen were cast down there not simply out of desire to punish them, but to discourage exploration. Theodoric wanted to keep the ruins secure. That's a good way to do it. Nobody wants to fuck with the dead guy. What you're saying, they were meant to guard the Mad King's trove. Yes, that's exactly what he's saying. Precisely. And since we know the court thaumaturgy is involved, we can safely assume that any entrance to the city will be concealed. No shit. Which would explain how a legion of imperial soldiers and the gods know how many Almegans never found a trace of the trove. We, however, have certain advantages which they do not enjoy. Fraz, would you be so good as to swim down to the bottom of the lock and search for an underwater route into the ruins? While you do that, Arvold and I will seek out encircled portal of the palace. Encircled? I don't know this word. Ensorcelled? No big deal, just swim to the bottom of a giant lock. It's fine. This is it. Shift C, shift space bar. Oh, control space. Wait, I can't mount up. Underwater chocobo for the win. So I'm looking for the ruins of Scala. Later, chocolate buddy. Investigate the passage. Oh, yeah. This looks like a dungeon. Yes, it is. Entrance and stone door. Is it one and the same? Because I don't want to enter this without, you know what I mean? If I enter it and finish it. Alright, I think, yeah. For it. Let's do it. Scala dungeon time. I have not done this dungeon before. This is a blind run. Wish me luck. Already, myself, we just need a healer. streaming time 14 minutes. Holy moly. It's usually pretty fast when you're a tank. But 14 minutes, that's pretty nuts. I hope it's not that long. Yeah, so if anyone's out there, hello. How's your evening going? Let me know in the chat if you are there. Is anyone out there? Hello, hello, hello. Is there anybody in there? Just not if you can hear me. I don't normally talk this much, so I think my voice is starting to go a little bit. So I might just have to do this dungeon and call it there. I think I'll keep playing, but I can't keep talking right now. Maybe I just need to practice talking more. I did do a stream right before this where I was working on my game for 2.5 hours, so I think overall tonight, let's see, how long has this stream gone on for now? This one's gone on for almost an hour, jeez. So overall, I've been streaming for like over 3 hours. Like 3.5 hours. Wow, that's crazy. Time goes by so fast when you're having a good time. Still waiting for that healer over here. Oops. Still waiting for the healer over here. Party of 3, just waiting for those heals, man. Waiting for those heals. This is the best part of this game, is waiting for dungeons. Man, I usually don't have to wait. Being a tank, I usually don't have to wait. This is a little bit surprising. I'm also a little worried that if I complete this quest, it doesn't say to go into the dungeon, so I'm a little bit concerned. Oh man, I'm glad I did that. Okay, so if I hadn't done that, I wouldn't have got the completion. There we go. Yeah, so now I need to do the dungeon that I've queued up for. Sit here in front of it. I might as well do some fates or something. Because, I mean, this shouldn't take this long. Literally, I'm waiting for one healer. That's it. There's myself and 2 DPS ready to go. Just waiting for that last slot to fill up. So I was doing some research today, just you get on those YouTube rabbit holes sometimes. I was just looking into Japanese style weddings. especially for the bride. And they wear this special headdress and everything, and the ceremony has a lot of like specific kind of rituals. I'm talking about like a traditional Shinto wedding. Lots of times, it seems like now it's pretty common for Japanese people to have like a Western style wedding, which is kind of like in a chapel. It's very similar to the ones we'll have here in Canada or in the States, and they seem to be becoming incredibly common. So, my girlfriend works at a flower shop in Japan, and she does a lot of weddings, right? And she tells me that most of the weddings that she does are like Western style. I have a Japanese tutor as well, and I was asking him about, I wanted to learn more about Japanese weddings. So he told me that all the weddings he's been to in his life have been Western style. He's lived in Japan most of his life. That was a little surprising. I thought, these days it's super common. Oh, of course. Here it is. Alright, so the dungeon is locked. Let's go. I'm just going to take out this last thing. Alright, here we go. Alright, so if you're watching, I am going into this dungeon blind. I have not looked up anything about this. And I'm the tank, so this is good. I'm going to let my party know it's my first time. People in this game are super nice. If you just let them know it's your first time, it's easy to forget even what happens here. So, this is like, don't worry, just have fun, sort of thing. Yeah, people in this game are just super nice. I love them. it's not too bad. Obviously a lot easier than watching it, but some people might say I'm just gonna pass it. Some people might say it's kind of ruining the game for yourself. But sometimes I do that, especially when I'm tanking. I just don't want to. I don't want to bring the rest of the party down.
got this. Oh my god. Wow, that guy's Yo, Yara, what are you doing? I'm gonna stay out of it. Out of it.
Who likes to stand in AoEs.
Never a good thing.
boss. So far, so good. Nobody's died, so that's always a good thing. Party gets in here. Wait for this guy. Okay, here we go. Yeah, we're good. What do we do? Someone knows. Nothing for paladins. Right, this is the last section of trash mobs, I suppose. Someone else grab that treasure chest. Guy here. Pass. I bet you can see it happen. Oh. Oh god. Okay. What's this? Yeah, fucking awesome. Ready? Let's freaking do this. Oh no, I got attack me, bro. It's Temple of Scala. I guess. Was that the king or was that? We got one paladin. Secure this whole time. So yeah, I got 2 player combinations from that. Nice.
Oh, bugger it.
Are you all right?
Aye. Aye. Everything's still attached.
Ah, it seems both our paths led here. Very good.
You got to skip the whole dungeons.
We spent altogether too much time fleeing fiends horrid and numerous. How fared you?
I killed them. If there's anyone in the chat,
Much the same then.
say hello.
'Twould appear this place is yet inhabited by King Theodoric's kin, or what is left of them. The work of terrible magics, I fear.
Terrible, aye. But their misfortune is our fortune?
Quite. By the 12, there is even more than I imagined.
It's a lot of booty. I guess that's the king right there.
Oh, I can't wait to see the look on Lisa's face. Thanks for believing in me, you two.
Bet. Wow, it's already after midnight. Crazy. Arnvold and I forged ahead at the fastest pace we could manage, but I was not surprised to find you waiting for us. I suppose it serves us right for challenging the warrior of light. That's me. Next time we should agree on some manner of handicap. We may have lost Alphino, but think of what we found. Quite. I'm still reeling at the sight of the mountain ridges. I can't even get like one good idea. What, like how you reel at the sight of the floating specter, you mean? You should have heard him scream, Fraz. Must we dwell on such momentary lapses? We found the Mad King's trove, and that's all that matters. It's not wrong. Right. All jesting aside, we must tell people the good news, and I think Lise should be the first. Seconded. There is to be a meeting of representatives from across Alamigo. So she is sure to be in the city. Shall we seek her out? Yes. Yes, we shall. Alamigo, so she's over there. Over there. Down there. Oh, you three look pleased with yourselves. Oh. I'm glad you asked, Lise. I don't know what you asked, it was too fast. And I'm pretty sure you're going to like the answer. You're joking. The Mad King's Trove? I thought it was a myth. the myth, the legend. So did plenty of people. But they didn't have Fraz and Alphino in their party. Well, I didn't have Alphino in my party. It was just me and 3 other people. So the credit for finding it should really go to them. As for what to do with it all, I voted goes towards alleviating the suffering of Alamigo's poor. You know, it's not a bad idea. Gods, if there's as much as you say. Arnvald did not exaggerate, I assure you. We could not hope to carry even a fraction of it out on our own. I have taken the liberty of sketching out a rough map of the ruins. If you will assemble a squad of your most trusted freedom fighters, they should be able to follow the route to where the treasure lies. Yeah, you can take out the trash mobs, maybe not the bosses. Understood. I'll make sure every coin is accounted for, and that goes for the spending of it as well. Thank you. Oh, there's one other thing. When the time comes to draw up a plan for distributing the spoils, I would ask that you consult Alphino. I do not have head for such details. I'm not educated. I see that simply handing out sacks of gil won't solve everything, but I couldn't rightly tell you what to do instead. Oh, I know the feeling. I'd welcome any advice you could give us, Alphino. Of course, I shall be at your disposal. Commander, we've got a problem. Deep breaths. Tell me what's happened. A mob's gathered outside headquarters, and they've started making demands. You'd best come see for yourself. Hey, Nani? Rabble, 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 rabble.
Step back, all of you!
All right.
Like hells we will! We know who you've got in there!
We're not leaving till you hand her over!
Bring her out! Bring her out!
Oh, is that...
What's going on? Someone let slip about Fedora.
It's true then! The bitch really is in there! I knew it! I bloody knew it!
They said bitch.
We demand vengeance! Bring her out! Today we butcher the butcher!
Come on, you don't mean that! We'd be no better than the Imperials if you'd all just calm down! Calm down! That monster and her thrice damned skulls dragged my man from our home and beat him to death in the street!
Yikes, I'd be angry too.
Aye, and my dad! That bitch has spilt enough blood to fill a
They
lock!
said bitch again.
We all know
Squirt
her
Enix,
crimes.
so naughty.
She's a traitor and a murderer. How many of your resistance friends have died at her hands, eh? And here you are, protecting her!
So that's what all the fuss is about.
Fuss. Is that Ralban?
Hearken to me, brothers and sisters of Alamigo.
Hey, who's this?
Who's this then?
That's the Bull of Alamigo.
My friends, you are not alone in your anger, your grief, your despair, for it is mine as well. That gnawing pain in your breast, it is enough to bring an old bull to his knees. But I ask you, brothers and sisters, to think not only of the family and friends who were cut down before your very eyes, but to think also of the ones who were abducted, the ones who may yet live. Where were they taken? What became of them? These questions demand answers.
Whoops.
But we will gain only fleeting satisfaction if we give in to our base appetites. We will never know the truth. Now is the time that we, the people of Alamigo, must decide what manner of nation we will build for ourselves, and for generations yet unborn. When they look to our example, will they see a people who held fast to their principles, or one who cast them aside when tried? I say to you, it is our responsibility to give these prisoners a fair trial, that they might answer to all of Alamigo. The Garleans called us savages, and I'll be damned if we prove them right.
I know you're right, I do, but I can't.
Roband's such a G, man. Darn. Just give me a minute here. Alright. So it's already after midnight here, so I'll do maybe a couple more quests here, and I think I'm gonna call it. Tis a difficult tide to stem. 'Twas that same rage which brought us to our feet and carried us to victory. But now the war is over, all the unspent fury is being channeled into vengeance. Aye, 'tis not just here. We've reports of mobs forming all over. They've been targeting folk known to have cooperated with the Garleans. It starts with insults most often, then someone picks up a stone. Some industrious souls even think to seek to the graves of Xenos and his officers. Seek out the graves of Xenos and his officers. It was grim. I want to build a country where everyone, regardless of race or origin, can live side by side in peace. But maybe the time isn't right. Maybe people just aren't ready. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to try. Representatives will be here soon. I'll be damned if I'm gonna give up before I make them go. That's the spirit. Who are these representatives exactly? Oh, village elders, refugee leaders, and the like. It wouldn't be right for us to dictate a nation's future on our own, so we can plan a summit of sorts. We've even invited the Ananta, Kikiri, to participate. Kikirin. Excuse me. Alamigo stands at a crossroads, and this meeting will decide which path it takes. The matter of Fordolia's sentence cannot be suffered to disrupt the proceedings. Then let's execute her and be done with it. She herself asked to be put to death. Nago, I already explained why we wouldn't do that. Sending her to the gallows might satisfy people right now, but where would it end? Should we round up everyone who collaborated and everyone who didn't resist? There would be no one left. We'd be no better than Theodoric, it seems. They are both crazy bastards. I'm begging your pardon, but might I be allowed to speak with Fordola? Only I caught a glimpse of her past. A moment of it anyway, during the fight. She's done terrible things, forgivable things. But in some ways, she's a victim of the circumstances in which she was born. And that's something I can understand. Alright, speak with the prison guard when you're ready, and I'll come and join you. I want to talk to her too. I'll return to my other duties then. We barely began to investigate the facility where they gave Fordola her power. Oh, this is Brabant. Where they gave Fordola her powers. Be fairly warned, friends. She will test you. Do not let your emotions color your judgment when she does. He's got like a Sean Bean type voice. I can't really do it very well. The commander's permission to enter that? Nah. Yeah, I do.
Hell yeah, dude. Yeah, dude.
Well, well, well. So many visitors. Come to have a good laugh, have you?
You having a laugh? You having a laugh?
Autoplay.
You having a laugh?
Or do you mean to put me out of my misery? To finish what you started? It's about bloody time.
That's not why we're here, no. Do you remember what I said? How I promised you you'd live long enough to see us win our freedom? Well, I meant it. And not to mock you either.
You're wasting your time. All of this is pointless! There's no reason to keep me alive, and you know it! I killed your men. I killed my men! And you know what my only regret is? That I didn't kill you when I had the chance!
That's a lie, and you know it! You think we can't tell what you're trying to do? That we're blind? Yeah, you're a fool, but you're not stupid. You're ruthless. Relentless. You'd give up anything and everything to get what you want. You didn't come this far, climbing over the bodies of your own brothers and sisters just to piss it all away. I see you, Fordola. I see you for what you are.
Oh, now I'll see you too. Oh, it's Fordola as a kid. Oops.
Come along, Fadola. We mustn't be late. The Imperial Viceroy will be attending today's banquet.
All right. Father, what's Lord Gaius like? Is he nice? Are you friends?
Oh, Gaius.
There you go again with all your questions. Lord Gaius is a great and honourable man who looks after all of Alamigo. He's very busy, and if we don't hurry, we'll miss our chance to see him.
Filthy tin-head lovers.
Father, what did that man call us?
The little tin-head lover doesn't know what she is, eh? A traitor, sweetheart. A backstabbing bitch who'd gladly betray her kith and kin to gnaw on what few scraps the Imperials deign to toss her. Like your bastard father and whore mother.
Damn, this guy's a jerk, man.
That's not true! My parents are good people! They've never done anything like that!
Oh, but they were quick to help themselves and their bitch spawn, weren't they?
Damn, all of a sudden they're
just
saying
as
bitch every
guilty
two
as them.
sentences.
Fadola!
Traitors!
Please, you have to do something. My husband and daughter are in danger.
Soldiers of the Imperial Army are under no obligation to intervene in the disputes of arms.
We're citizens. We have rights.
I'm scared.
It's all right. It's all right. They don't understand, but they'll see in time. They'll see that this is the only way to survive. Traitors! Traitors!
Oh, damn. Still throwing rocks. Wow, these people are fucking savages, man.
Let the savages have their fun. They'll be more compliant once they've tired themselves out.
Fadola, please. You already have citizenship. Why would you want to become a soldier? Oh, gods. What have you done to your face?
Forgotten it already, have you? I'm honouring Father's memory.
By telling the world that you know better than a common savage.
Am I though, Mother? Are any of us? you see? Citizenship means nothing to them. If you're not a pure-blood Garlean, you're no different from any other savage. So I'll play the part. I'll join the Legion and I'll make them respect me. And when the mob see that, they'll think twice before throwing their stones. Ansfrid, Rudolph, Emlyn. It's time.
It's time.
It'll be hard. Humiliating. They'll try to break us. Send us crawling back to our own kind. But we won't, no matter what. We'll bleed for them, die for them if we have to. We'll do whatever it takes to be free!
See, they tried to give, what's her name? Yutsuyu, there was another sort of sub-villain in Stormblood, Yutsuyu, who was authored in Kugane area, and they tried to give her kind of this kind of redemption thing, you know, like, oh, well, it's justified what she did. Hers did not work, but I think...
You mean to play the part one last time, eh? The unrepentant traitor whose death will serve to unite the people?
I think Fordola's is a little better.
Shut up.
You had every chance to kill yourself. Fashion a noose from your clothes. Wait for the guards to leave you alone long enough to slip it over your neck.
I said shut up!
Oh, but then it would have all been for nothing, wouldn't it? Whatever it takes. That's what you said.
Been in my head, have you? Had a little peek at my past? And what? A few stolen memories tell you everything you need to know, do they? Don't you dare patronize me! You don't know a god's damned thing about the life I've led!
I know a little bit.
That killed him. The bastards that let it happen. My father deserved better! I swore I'd do whatever it took to make them pay! You.
Did you just echo me?
All that power. All that pain. It's too much.
No pain, no gain.
Too much for anyone. The things they've done to you. The lies. The betrayal. The endless fighting. Yet there you stand. Unbroken. How? Why?
Skills. Pure skills. Yeah, I'll do the heroic response. For those I have lost, for those I can yet save.
Damn you. Damn you all.
You still have time, Fordola. Think about how you want to spend it. Let's go.
solved anything exactly, but we've given Fordola something to think about at least. I found something new to talk about too. I don't know about you, Fraz, but the visions only come to me every now and then. From the way Fordola kept mincing them, it feels like she's having them almost all the time. That's a lot of bad memories to deal with. I wonder, could there be some fundamental difference between one who's born with the echo and one who's been artificially imbued with it? Well, the Immortal Flames have been scouring that research facility ever since the liberation. There's a chance they might have some answers for us. General Alden's there overseeing the investigation. Let's go and pay him a visit, shall we? Okay. Let's... fly over there. General Alden's inside. Aye. Will you be joining him? Yes. Yes. Yes, yes. What news? You spoke with Fordola, I take it? Yes, as expected. She didn't say very much. But it wasn't a total waste of time. Arnvald noticed something odd about her. He thinks she might be having visions almost constantly, which is not how the echo normally works. Have you found anything here which might explain why it's so different for her? We've been hard-pressed just to organize the research materials, let alone study them. To be frank, I'd welcome the Scion's expert assistance if you have time to lend a hand. Okay. Oops. Let's check this pod, shall we? Let's see. The device in which Kryl was held seems even more ominous now that you know its purpose. The surrounding pods are marked Supply Subject, while this one bears the label Master Subject. The Ironworks received a request from the Alliance to analyze these devices, and I've been recording everything of interest. Did you notice the labeling? All the pods are designed to drain the ether of the occupants, save the one right there. I see. Unlike the others, the interior has been fitted with an array of sensors to measure etheric waveforms. To what purpose, however, I couldn't tell you. So many bodies, every one of them a victim of these experiments. Few show any signs of external injury. From what we've been able to determine, they perished from forcible ether extraction. Such a miserable way to die. This kind of reminds me of Final Fantasy XIV. There's that Mako reactor in Nibelheim. Genova would be on the top. I know little and less of science, so any light you could shed on this facility's operations would be much appreciated. Fuck.
Taken in combination with the testimonies of Kral and Thancred, I do begin to see exactly what the Imperials were attempting here. Indubitably. The enhancement procedure entailed infusing a single candidate with ether siphoned from a multitude of supply subjects. Well, I could have told you that. As for the master subject, in this case Cryo, the pattern of her etheric activity would provide the model upon which they would artificially engineer the candidate's aura. In other words, they were trying to recreate Kral's echo. I believe so. That was a mistake. The soldiers who guard Fort Dolo, many of them lost friends and family to the Skulls. And there's a sentry at her door night and day. If she can't help sensing their thoughts and seeing their past. But you don't just see their past, you live it. All the emotions, all the pain. Imagine what it'd do to you. You'd never be the same again. Indeed, as you may recall, Isael was completely transformed by a single glimpse of her Icewalker's past. Fordola has been forced to experience the agony of those whose lives she's destroyed. The guilt must be unbearable. That explains her request to be executed. Sounds to me like a kind of justice. Regardless, she can suffer on for now. We have more pressing matters to consider. If the results of these experiments have been relayed back to Garlemald, there will be naught to stop the Empire from repeating the trick. They could give the echo to anyone, to an entire legion. We must be ready. We must learn all we can of these godforsaken procedures. And Fordola remains the best source of information. She'll not be getting her wish. Not yet. Right. Keep faith, lass. You're to convince others to follow you. If you're to convince others to follow you, you must believe what you're telling them. People will respond to passion, but not if it's feigned. I understand. Thank you, General. We should leave the flames to it. Let's go. I go looking for answers about the Echo and end up getting schooled by Raubon. Yet more evidence that I don't know what I'm doing. It's no wonder people listen to him and not me. General Alden is a veteran of countless campaigns, Lise. You cannot compare yourself to a commander of his experience. I know, but I also know that I couldn't have convinced the mob to give up and go home. It makes me realize how much we rely on his authority, and how much I still have to learn. I wonder what we'll be doing when everything here is settled. I mean, it's his homeland. After going for the trouble of winning it back, might he not want to stay? 'Tis a quandary which countless refugees now face. To continue the life they built in Ul'dah, or start again in the land of their birth. Frowns a moment. It's Pippin, this little dude. Mr. Lalafell. I'm newly returned from Ul'dah with a message from the Sultana. Her Grace desires an audience with you. She understands that you have responsibilities here, but asks that you visit the palace at your earliest convenience. Well, I must away and attend to other business. Until next time, my friends. An audience with the Sultana. Depending on the nature of her consultation, this might be the perfect opportunity to inquire about the General's future plans. Plans. Yes, we'd all like to know about those, Alphino. But not everyone is as comfortable interrogating royalty as you. Take notice of him, Fraz. Alright, I'm gonna do one more quest and then I'm gonna call it. I'm feeling pretty tired. Well, the question of how to put the Mad King's treasures to good use shows no sign of answering itself. Shall we be about it, our boy? I'm at your beck and call. And I should be getting back to my own tasks. I'll organize a squad to head down to the ruins and then start preparing for the big meeting. Oh, and send Nanimo my regards, Fraz. Okay. And Oz too, if you please. We shall see you on your return. Later, Gator. Johnny. Jamatane. Ulda, I'm returning to the old world. This is my home. Actually, is it my home? I think my very first city was... I was a dragoon. I think it was Gridania. Hustings Strip. I need to go to the Chamber of Rule. So how about those Olympics there, eh? I haven't really watched anything to do with the Olympics this year or most years. Generally I don't follow it, but I have quite an interest in Japan in general, so I guess I followed it a little bit, but really not that much.
My lord, it was an honor to face you in a tournament. Since that day, I have spent my every spare moment in the practice yard, striving to attain some fraction of your skill with the blade. Never. Forgive me. You are here for an audience with the Sultana. Please proceed.
Last time I was in this room, you got assassinated. Tempted.
I thank you for answering my summons in these most interesting times. You have been busy.
Yeah. You haven't.
The liberation of Alamigo will have far-reaching consequences, and there is a matter upon which I would seek your counsel. I speak of Rauban and his future. All know the tale of his rise from penniless refugee to member of the Syndicate and General of the Immortal Flames. Yet though he has come to call Ulda home, it will never be his homeland. He is a son of Alamigo. And now that she is free, I thought it only a matter of time before he sought my leave to return to her. Indeed, I had resigned myself to his loss. Suffice it to say, I was greatly surprised to hear him speak so lightly of handing over the reins in Alamigo and retaking his place at my side. I will welcome him with open arms, of course. He is my most trusted advisor and my dearest friend. But I have known the man a long time, and beneath that steely gaze, I spied a flicker of doubt. Whether Raubon chooses to remain in Uldar or return to Alamigo, I only wish that he do so with a heart unburdened by guilt or regret. Yet, how can he freely make such a choice, knowing how much I depend on him? It is past time that I learned to discharge my duties as a sultana alone. I must go forth and see my realm with my own eyes, and hear the wind with my own ears. Might I have your company for a brief adventure? Wonderful. Allow me a moment to change into something a touch less conspicuous, and I will join you outside.
Okay, we're going on an adventure. Me and the Sultana. Besties. Quicksand, is that... That's the... Yeah... That's the, like, in here. Adventurers Guild. Yep. Oh, wow. Perchance you remember Lelyra, the merchant's daughter? This is the persona I assume when I venture beyond the palace walls. I serve my subjects. Why, I do remember you from, like, the beginning of the game. Ordinarily, Papashan would accompany me, but for this particular outing, I need an advisor, not a minder. And that is why I requested your company. Over the course of your many adventures, you have met people from all walks of life, in every corner of Eorzea, and I would make use of your worldly experience. Now, let us be on the way. Our first destination is Stone's Throw, just beyond the gates of Nald. Okay, just a stone's throw away. I'll walk out the front door. And then I'll fly. Look upon this procession of tattered tents. These refugees camp in squalor, at the mercy of the elements and Thanalan's predators both. The city's mighty walls offer safety, but the streets overflow with people as it is. And unless blessed by the hand of Nald himself, no refugee could ever hope to afford a dwelling in Uldar. 20 years have passed since the fall of Alamigo, and 5 since the calamity, yet the plight of the poor has grown more desperate, not less. As Sultana, the blame falls upon me. I think you've done your best. Then my best has not been good enough. Shall we press on? I would follow the road to the unholy air. Up there. Let me do this as fast as possible. I thought this would be a quick quest. It might be a long one. Really crashing. This stream has been almost 2 hours now, so today I've now streamed for almost 5 hours. It was here in this wholly unremarkable place that my mother and father met their doom. I was but a child at the time. My parents were returning from an inspection of our interests in eastern Thanalan when an untimely rock slide crushed their carriage. To this day, it is not certain if the incident was simple misfortune or an expertly planned assassination. Raubon once offered to reopen the investigation and bring me the truth. He assumed it must surely crave, but I refused.
Even if my parents' deaths were orchestrated by monetarists, we could have only brought their hirelings to justice. The true villains, those who plotted to put me on the throne as a biddable puppet, were ever beyond our reach. Thus, I did plan to strip the merchants of their power and place our nation in the hands of its citizens, quite unaware of the consequences my actions would have for you and yours. I shudder to think of how many goodly souls paid the price of my naivety. But I am no longer a child reciting words with witless obedience, and I will not be used as a pawn in the monetarist's damnable games. Forgive my outburst. You are one of few people whom I feel I can speak my mind. Come, let us return to Ul'dah and visit the Colosseum. Okay. What's the point of coming here? Colosseum, you say? That's... From the moment I became Sultana, I found myself thrust into an endless parade of document signing and ceremonies. For years, I simply signed where I was told to sign and sat where I was told to sit, blissfully oblivious to what any of it meant. Yet one good thing did come from the ignominious chapter of my life. Oh, she uses some interesting words. For it was during an official visit to the Colosseum that I first met Raoban. The match I had been invited to attend was not at all what I expected. They had pitted the bull of Alamigo against some dozen or so rival gladiators. Blinkered though I was, I would not stand for so obvious an injustice, and demanded to see a fair fight, one man against another, and my royal wish was duly granted. It was not until later that I learned of the gambling ring which had arranged for Raoban to die on the sands that day. Regardless, my intervention meant that Raoban had but a single opponent to dispatch, which he duly did. And when he knelt before me to receive the winner's purse, he swore that he would one day offer me his blade in service. Surrounded as I was by liars and manipulators, I confess I dismissed it as a pleasant piece of theatre. But as you know, Raoban is a man of his word. Though it took him another 5 years of fighting in the blood sands, he amassed a fortune so great as to buy not only his freedom, but a seat on the syndicate. And then I had my blade.
You mustn't! The danger is too great! Please, Your Grace! Come back! I beg of you!
It seems you're the one who needs looking after, Master Shah. Raoban!
Your Grace! I have kept the promise made.
So you have, and in turn, so too shall I keep mine. With your winnings, you have become one of the 6 most wealthy souls in all Ul'dah, and so, as tradition dictates, Rauben Aldin, you have earned yourself a seat on the Syndicate. May your new station garner you still greater glories.
I am honored, Your Grace, and vow to serve with every fiber of my being from this day till my last. Long live the Sultana, and long live Ul'dah!
Words cannot express what that man means to me. There are others who care deeply for my well-being, of course. Papa Shan's love for me is as that of a grandsire for his grandsire. But upon matters of governance, I cannot turn to bodyguards and maidservants for counsel. Rauban, with the authority of his syndicate position, was the first sword I could wield. His was the edge which could cut the strings that bound me. That is my throat is shot. I have been talking for the past almost 5 hours, which is kind of crazy to think of. So I'm gonna call it here. If you hung out, thank you for hanging out. I appreciate it. And I'll probably be back tomorrow. I think I'll be working on my game some more. So that's it for me. Frank signing out for the night.